Hey, what is up guys? Guitar Rock here, welcome back to another brown dust video. Alright, this is going to be slightly of a different video, not something that I do often, but I would like to talk about one particular unit, one particular character with the release of Kira, and that being said is Foxy. Alright, so we're going to focus on her in this video, like what's her current meta like, whether or not is she viable still in the arena, and things of whatnot, everything you need to know about her. Alright, so I'm gonna do a lot of comparisons between Foxy and Kira because both of them have pretty similar roles. So hopefully, I'm just gonna put that out there first. So yeah, before we start off the video, a quick message from the sponsor. This video is sponsored by beautifulhello.com. It's a website that has thousands of beautifully designed clothing to choose from. Pepe Frog hoodie, anime girl hoodie, they have it all. And it also has free shipping worldwide, so you're gonna get your clothes no matter where you're from. Alright, make sure to insert the relevant codes to get some discounts off. Check it out, links will be in the description below. Now, to truly understand how the meta is currently right now and how Kira is gonna fit inside, we just need to look at one current unit that we have right now, which is Foxy. Alright, so some of you might argue that Foxy and Kira are totally different, and to a certain extent I do agree, but I disagree. They are very similar in terms of what they need to do, in terms of their roles as warriors. So Kira and Foxy, of course, the main differentiating factor for both of them is going to be the multi-hit for Foxy, where Foxy has the ability to hit 3 times, but Kira is going to have the slightly bigger AoE than Foxy. That's about it. Alright, so the difference is going to be just 1 tile extra for Kira, whereas Foxy has 2 tiles maximum at +9 unlock. So, similarity wise, extremely similar. Both of them have this skill, Nullifier. So in this meta, in this day and age, Nullifier is, I guess it's still pretty alright, but definitely the value has gone down significantly. Foxy used to be extremely strong when Cowley was dominating in the arena, and I can see that being a thing even right now in certain stages of the league, arena league. But if you go higher tiers, Foxy is not going to be able to do much right there because Grand Hilder is just everywhere. Alright, if you guys are not familiar, Grand Hilder cannot, her taunt cannot be removed. So it doesn't matter who do you use as your nullify warrior, it's not going to work at all. So you're just gonna like wasting hits, hitting Grand Hilder if you're not able to one-shot her. So both Foxy and Kira, they won't have the ability to basically rid off Grand. So that is just straight up fact. But if you're talking about Cowley, they both can do it with decent buffs. Alright, let's talk about strengths that Foxy has over Kira. The only thing that Foxy has over Kira, the only benefit is going to be the multi-hit. So this is going to be useful in taking care of Lucius. The problem though is both of them have skip tiles. Now whether you like it or not, regardless of perhaps if you are in the lower ranks, some players are going to place their Lucius at the back. But that's not going to be the case once you go into the higher tier, especially in, I would say, Ruby ranks and above. Most players will place their Lucius in front. Like, this is just common knowledge, I guess, at that point. Now, placing Lucius in front makes a lot of sense because you have the ability to basically negate all the skip that's going on. And with formations like Lucius in front and Grand Hilder at the back, your Kira is not going to be able to do anything, unfortunately. So that is something that players have to keep in mind. Same goes for Foxy. So in terms of saying that, oh, Foxy has a multi-hit and she's gonna be able to get rid of Lucius, that is only true depending on the arena tier and arena league you're at. But most players, I would say good players, they know that putting Lucius at the rare is just calling for a lot of trouble. There's no way you put your Lucius in the rare, right? You have to place Lucius in front, and if you want, the one at the rare tiles has to be either Grand or Cowley, etc. So I just want to get that clear. People arguing that Foxy is gonna be so good against Lucius is not true. Foxy is good against Lucius, but in most cases, I would say 50% of the cases, Wilhelmina is gonna be better. So the chances of Foxy facing a Lucius in the solo lane Nowadays it's very unlikely. So let's talk about Foxy in general in the meta right now. I do think that Foxy is she's a meh, you know, for me. She's an average unit, maybe a 5 out of 10. Like legit, if I were to rate Foxy, I would place her in 5 out of 10 stars. Alright, Kyria, for me personally, I would say she's gonna be a 6. Now, some of you guys might say, oh, why is Kyria better? Because of the points that I argued earlier. She has more coverage in terms of her range, and I do think that Kyria has the slightly better DOT over Foxy. Yes, I know that Foxy's DOT is not really a DOT, it's an additional damage and it's irremovable and things like that. But the thing is, if you're getting rid of tanks, you really need decomposition. Additional damage is cool and all, but most of the tanks nowadays, if you look at Cowley, you look at Grand Hill there, you look at Bansina who is coming up next, all of them has the ability to self-heal, regenerate. Alright, and then especially Rafitia is like present nowadays. All of them are going to have the extra Glutty healing. So those self-heal sort of like, they reduce the amount of damage that this chain explosion or this additional damage DOT type thing can do. So Foxy's value just sort of diminish from that point onwards. But using Foxy, and this is going to be the same thing for Kyria as well, they both share one of the biggest weakness in any warrior possible right now, is that none of their abilities has any sort of immunity. So that's going to be extremely detrimental going into the battle. Setting up a formation is going to be difficult. Alright, so to understand why, you need to look at the current meta right now. Now if you look at all the supporters right now, right, it used to be Stella and Michaela. They both used to be the greatest combo ever for any sort of warriors. You pass Stella, Michaela, buffing your warriors is going to be invincible. Don't have to worry about anything. Stella provides stats weakening immunity, Michaela provides DOT immunity, attack interference immunity, everything's going to be covered. You practically has debuff immunity. But here's the thing, in the current day and age, in the current meta right now, Rafitia is just so good to let go for you to be running Stella and Michaela. So I do think the ability to run Stella and Michaela is sort of crippled, like crippling the usage. That in itself, like basically just cripples the usage of having either Stella or Michaela. So you, ideally most top tier players, they only want 2 warriors in their team. Alright, so you either have Stella Michaela, or you have Stella Rafitia, or you have Michaela Rafitia. You have to choose one of those two. Rafitia is just so good to not use in the meta right now. So imagine if you have Foxy in your team, and you run either Michaela Rafitia or Stella Rafitia. You're gonna lack one of the 2 immunities that's present in the supporters, and she's not going to be as effective. So Foxy and Kyria, they both suffer from this. They definitely having the lack of immunity sort of cripples them in a way, really hard. At least if you use something like a Taylor, for example. Like Taylor has stats weakening immunity, so you don't have to worry about using Stella. So you can go for Rafitia and Michaela, and she'll be able to, you know, deal instant damage and has coverage in majority of the immunities. So using Rafitia, Michaela, Stella, all 3 supporters in one team can be an option, can be a workaround, but I do think that that's going to cripple your team in a defensive or offensive factor, because having 3 supporters is just too much most of the time. You're gonna lack either the defensive power, perhaps you could use one of them and slot in a Cowley or Cecilia, that's gonna like help your team basically take hits from Natters better, or running an extra warrior might actually bring your team to victory as well. Now, based on all the things that I've mentioned so far, she seems like a really bad unit, right? Foxy seems like a really bad unit. No, she's not. Which is why I'm rating her 5 out of 10. If she was a bad unit, I would say she's like a 2 out of 10. She's still better than Christina right now, in my opinion. But the problem is more like where she stands right now as a unit. If you have a plus 10 Foxy right now, and you've been using her in your formation, I doubt you're gonna see much of a decline in your rankings. Like you won't see that But if you have a +0 Foxy right now and you plan to start building her, in a couple of months, she's gonna fall off more and more. There are plenty of other better warriors available right now. And I do personally think that Kyria is gonna be a slightly better version of Foxy, unless Foxy can get a +15 of her. But as of now, Foxy is just a no-go. If you're a new player, don't even think about building her. Alright, so there's much better options in terms of warriors available. Dalvi is better, Taylor is better, heck, even Anastasia is better in my opinion. But that's gonna be up to you to decide. I think ideally for Foxy right now, her biggest competitor, Christina, is gonna come in a couple of months. Alright, we know Christina is coming. +15 Christina is already available on the Korean server. So if you want to build Foxy, why not save that same amount of resources and try and build a Christina instead? Like, Christina is going to have better coverage in terms of the AoE. She's going to hit even more times. I think 5 times as opposed to 3 times that Foxy has. And she's just going to have a better overall stats moving forward. So there's no reason to be building a Foxy right now. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. Just some random video of me talking of how the meta is currently. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you do, give this video a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.